Have you ever seen a little girl huddled in the white snow just to sell a few small matches? No one stopped, no one looked at her. The winter night was freezing. The streets were sparkling with lights, but for her there was only hunger, cold, and fragile dreams as each match lit up and then went out. A story that seemed to be for children but made millions of adults cry. Today, let's listen again. The Little Match Girl, the saddest winter story in the world. The Little Match Girl. It was a cold winter night, snow blanketing every street in white. It was the last night of the old year, when people hurried home, eager to gather around the warmth of glowing lights behind every window pane. The wind cut through every corner and alley, sweeping up delicate snowflakes that danced in the thick darkness. Amid that scene walked a little girl, trembling, with golden hair and rosy cheeks. Her bare feet were bruised and scratched from the cold, her face swollen, lips trembling. But in her eyes, a faint glimmer of hope still lingered. In her hands, she clutched a bundle of matchsticks. Her old, worn apron held small packets of matches. She wandered down the rows of houses, gently knocking on doors, trying to sell them. Yet everyone hurried past, not sparing her a glance. Some even scowled and shooed her away, as if afraid her poverty might soil their doorstep. The little girl kept walking through the bitter cold that cut to the bone, her stomach growling from hunger, and not a single match had been sold. Snowflakes continued to fall, silently settling into her thin hair, making her shiver even more. She curled up in a corner where two walls met, trying in vain to shelter herself from the wind. The street lamps flickered weakly, their dim light casting patches of brightness on the snowy ground, highlighting her small, lonely figure. She knew if she returned home without selling any matches, her father would surely beat her. But out here, the cold was creeping into her very bones. She no longer felt pain, only the numbness in her hands and the chattering of her lips. In despair, she struck a match against the wall. The tiny flame flared to life, spreading a gentle warmth that chased away the icy chill, if only for a moment. She closed her eyes, imagining herself sitting before a warm fireplace, part of a happy family, basking in the comforting heat, smelling fresh bread baking. She wanted to hold on to that feeling forever, but the match burned out, leaving only a wisp of smoke drifting into the air, pulling her back into the freezing reality. Unable to resist, she struck another match. As if by magic, a grand feast appeared before her. Roast chicken, grilled meats, sweet pastries, all looking so delicious she wanted to reach out and take a bite. But the flame faded, the food vanished, and the hunger returned, gnawing at her insides along with the cold. She lit another match, clinging to a flicker of hope. This time, a beautiful Christmas tree appeared, tall and sparkling with countless lights, adorned with stunning presents hanging from every branch. She gazed at the shimmering ornaments and vibrant ribbons, feeling like she was part of a party for lucky children. But once more, the light faded and darkness swallowed everything again. Still sitting there in the freezing corner, starving, her vision blurred by longing, she looked up at the sky as the final rays of the old year faded away. She thought of her beloved grandmother, the only one who had ever truly cared for her, who once held her close and shielded her from hunger and cold. But her grandmother had passed away, leaving her alone in this harsh world. The little girl struck her last match, hoping desperately to see her grandmother again. As the flame lit up, she saw her kind grandmother smiling, arms outstretched to embrace her. It was the safety, the warmth she once knew. Afraid the vision would vanish with the flame, she hurriedly lit all the remaining matches. The light burst forth, radiant and dazzling, like the glow of heaven itself. She felt a gentle yet powerful force approaching, wrapping around her small, fragile soul. In that moment, she felt herself rising, soaring upward, away from the cold, hunger, and loneliness of this world, together with her grandmother. The next morning, as the first faint rays of sunlight touched the quiet streets, people found the little girl sitting by the wall, her lips frozen in a faint, peaceful smile. Scattered around her were the burnt remnants of matches. No one understood why she looked so content when the bitter cold had claimed her life the night before. All they saw was a poor little girl, dead from hunger and cold on a busy street. No one knew about the warm dreams, the miracles she had seen in those flickering flames. No one realized she had left this painful world hand in hand with her grandmother, headed for a place without hunger, without tears, without sorrow. The story of the little match girl is a sorrowful note in the symphony of life, a profound reminder of society's indifference toward the suffering of the vulnerable. On the dazzling night of New Year's Eve, when every home is filled with love and light, there in a lonely corner of the street sat a trembling child, clutching her matches, trying to hold on to a fleeting hope for warmth. She is gone now, leaving behind a lingering sorrow and a silent question about compassion, happiness, and the meaning of human kindness. Perhaps each match that flared to life was a simple wish from a fragile soul, to be loved, to feel warmth, to be treated like every other child. And this story will forever echo, a wake-up call to touch the hearts of those who pass by, so that no one else is left behind in the cold and loneliness, like the little match girl once was.